Hi and welcome back to the final video in our September 2019 quarterly video series. I'm Steve Johnson and I'm joined in this video by Senior Analyst on the International Fund, Gareth Brown. Hi Gareth.
Hi Steve. Hi everyone.
Gareth, you're slightly jet lagged from a recent trip to Europe. There's lots of talk about economic woes in Europe in particular. What was the general theme that you got from meeting with lots of management teams over there?
Our first stop was in Germany. As you know, industrial is the key segment in Germany, and particularly with an export focus. We met with a lot of company managements. I would say caution is the word, more so than I've seen over the last 4 or 5 years of visiting management teams in the country. There's also, the automotive segment is very important in Germany, and that's obviously very depressed at the moment. And then the other key issue is China. Just general economic concerns, and then also concerns specifically around tariffs.
And what about the UK, where Brexit's been causing dramas there for a long time now?
Look, I wouldn't use the word upbeat, but it's somehow a little bit positive. They've had difficult times over the last 3 years with Brexit, and I get the sense that a lot of management teams are now making the decision to just get up and get on with it. So we've had some interesting meetings. There's a lot of cheap stocks, but there's also a little bit of optimism creeping in.
And on to some of the company specifics. You met with a few management teams of businesses that we already have investments in. I guess starting with the most significant there, Blanco, which is the largest position in the international fund. How did the meeting with management go there?
So I met with the CFO, Adam Maloney. I haven't had a chance to have a call with him since the full year results came out a few weeks ago. So most of our meeting focused around that. Blanco had a really good year in 2019. Sales were up about 13%. And for some reasons that we've highlighted in the quarterly report, we think the underlying growth was faster again. Onto the segments, the enterprise segment, this is where they sell Forager solutions to large companies. That's been on fire. So sales were up 20% last year. We expect a similar sort of growth in the 2020 year that we're currently in. The mobile segment has been the slower grower. It grew 4% last year. Until very recently, the mobile solution segment was incomplete. They've plugged that with a few small acquisitions. They're very excited about the future and expect to be able to grow quicker this current year. Overall, the Blanco expects to grow sales about 15% in the current year. We think that could prove to be a conservative guess.
Yeah, they've already announced a fairly meaningful deal in that mobile segment, and we're hopeful of more to come there. One little stock that we haven't talked much about is a Norwegian company called Norway. It's a fairly new investment for the fund, and it's a fairly small one as well, one that we do have some high hopes for though. You headed a long way north to Trondheim in Norway. What happens in Trondheim?
Stays in Trondheim, other than of course the salmon that gets exported and the oil and a lot of cool stuff that's coming out of this small company. Norbit have a really interesting business model. They have a bunch of smart engineers working on technical problems, typically around sound wave and radio wave. And they're trying to come up with products that they can make commercial. As management explained to me, they're focused on a particular sweet spot, which is difficult, complex problems in an industry where the output is scalable, but not too scalable. So what they want is something they can build a good business around, but their biggest competitors can't come in and squash them.
So it needs to be big enough to be profitable, but not so big that you attract the industry giants to compete with you.
Correct. And then the plan is to bring in all the expertise they need to build a business around these solutions. So they can bring in insiders, they can bring in sales staff, they bring in typically more R&D skills around commercialization in particular. And they've already done this twice and have built what I would call world-class small businesses. So the first is in sonar, where they build lightweight sonar systems, particularly focused on seafloor mapping. And they also have a toll equipment business that's doing really well. So both these businesses are growing very fast, and we think pretty much justify the current share price. But at the same time, we think this is a business that can generate 1 or 2 more divisions that will grow over time.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different investment for us, or an unusual one. It was an IPO, albeit a dramatically repriced IPO in the end, but not something that we normally get involved in. And there has been, the first quarter there was a slightly underwhelming result, and it was the first result since the IPO. So we're looking to see some fairly significant progress in the short term there in terms of this business getting back on with those core businesses delivering the results that we expect, and then longer term we're hoping for some new businesses to be built as well.
Definitely.
Thanks for your time, Gareth, and I hope you get some sleep over the next few days and recover from the jet lag. And thanks for your time as well. As always, our videos are up on the website, foragerfunds.com, or you can search for our YouTube channel by typing in Forager Funds into the search box. Thanks again for watching, and as always, if you have any feedback, please get in touch.